Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. So, got yet another unboxing to do here. Unfortunately, I had to return the Harbinger MLS900. It sounded fantastic. So, if you're looking for a kind of DJ column type deal, and you want to play music back, that MLS900 is fantastic. It sounded pretty good, had like a little bit of a hi-fi vibe, because you got the sub going and the columns. It was only one set of speakers, the other one's just a column to hold it up, and it sounded great for playing back Bluetooth music between songs, but the actual PA power was minimal. And so I moved away from the column sound idea, because I did a test and was able to ascertain that that's not loud enough for vocal, and that was confirmed at my local dealer here in town, Everything Musical, which is where I purchased this baby, the Peavey PVXp 12. And I almost bought the 15, but Cody, the sales rep there, a friend of mine, he works on guitars of mine, and he's a really smart kid and really good luthier, guitar repair specialist. And so he recommended the 12-inch, seeing as how I'm using it as a vocal PA and not like a music playback system, because that extra 3 inches that you're going to get from the bass side of it, the woofer, is not really going to help as far as projecting a voice. And the 12 and the 15 both have the same size horn driver, which is I think 1.4 inch driver in this thing. So what I'm hoping for is I'm looking for a powered speaker that I could just plug into and be heard. It's like a monitor, to be heard with the band and to be able to record some live sound, And I needed something to do that with. I was using the Dark Matter 115 by Peavey. This one supposedly, puts out 1,000 watt, continuous power or whatever, top end performance. I don't know what it's really putting out, probably like 500 watts or maybe like 350 watts of real power. But I blew that up twice, and currently one of the drivers or board, I don't know what's wrong, is shot, because all you hear is the bass side of it. You don't hear the horn doing anything. And the cost of the repair for the unit is not worth fixing, I don't think, because you could get close to $300 and they only cost like $350 or something like that. This one here is supposed to be $5.99. I looked it up over at Sweetwater. It's selling for $5.99 there, and the other one is selling for $6.99. And originally the 12 MSRP was $6.99. They've got it at $5.99. I got it at $4.99 from Everything Musical, which is here locally. Cody got it for me at $4.99. That wasn't a special price. That's just what they had it listed for. So I think the price is going to range anywhere from $4.99 to $6.99. But you should be able to pick up the 15 for $6.99 and this one for $5.99. So you get the plate amp built into it, as opposed to having a passive speaker and you have to have a crown amp or PV amp, whatever you're going to use. I didn't want to get into all that because I'm just trying to look for a simple solution, and a couple of these would be cool. One for the audience, one is a monitor, something like that. So let's open this baby up. I'm gonna hope. I had to return the Harbinger, but I'm gonna hope that this one is gonna do the job, and I think I'll be able to tell, because I can tell just based on how the Dark Matter operated, as long as it's as loud as that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be as loud as that. This is better technology, better driver. Has this, what is it called, quadratic throat waveguide technology, and I think the idea of that is that it hits people, if you get it up a little bit higher, it hits people at an angle where the sound doesn't just sort of wash over it, hits them at the right spot. It's like a perception of more volume, as opposed to worrying about how many watts it is. You just make some tweaks to the cabinet design and give a better sound presentation. Okay, so I'm gonna open this baby up here, and when you look in, you get Peavey sticker. Nice looking Peavey sticker there. One of the like coolest kind of funny logos ever. I remember in the 80s, Peavey gear was, you know, not Fender or Marshall. And I mainly wanted a Marshall amp, you know, with the Marshall script on it. And instead I had a Peavey, you know. But there's something kind of cute about it now. It's like a look 70s, 80s kind of funny looking font. Alright, so now you get this little styrofoam tray here. You know, that's what's protecting the speaker, and I'll just kind of tilt this over and let you see how the speaker is mounted in there. It's like these styrofoam mounts. Very, very well packaged. Don't have to worry about anything going wrong here. Would have been nice probably if it was double walled for shipping, but this is probably just a display box. You know, they get it shipped on a big truck. But if it was shipped to your house, I'm assuming it would be in like another box. And this is just a display box. Okay, so it has a handle on the top, which is handy. I'll kick this out of the way. And here we go. Let me move this off camera so that you know, he won't be in the way visually. Let's see if I can do it without knocking anything over. Just kind of leave it there. Okay, so here we have just a piece of plastic covering it. I bet I left the IC cord in the box. But it's in the box. And this has Bluetooth capability, which is, you know, nice. Okay, let me get my Swiss Army knife here and just trim some of this tape off. In case I have to take it back, I'm a stickler for, like, you know, I don't like returning things just willy-nilly. I like to get something, you know, that and like research it and think it through and then go buy it and then have it work, you know. I'm not big on testing out gear and, you know, messing the stores up and all that by trying to return stuff all the time. So if I do return it, like I did with the Harbinger, I make sure I keep all the packaging perfect as well as I can. And, you know, show some respect by returning the things looking good. It makes me feel better, like I'm not some kind of jerk, you know, abusing the situation or whatever. Okay, so here's more styrofoam, and there's that IEC cable hiding in the box. All right, come here, you. You're gonna have to get involved here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do. So that's the unboxing bit. Let's see what it comes with as far as like instructions. Get your IEC cable, and at first glance, this thing is cool. I'll put the camera on it so that you can see it up front. And what's cool is since it's a 12-inch speaker instead of 15, it might actually be slightly smaller than my dark matter. As long as it's as loud as the dark matter, everything is fine and dandy. And I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm going to just put hope and faith that it will work. This is in Japanese, it looks like. And I can't read Japanese. Looks like it has every language, like whatever language you might happen to speak and read in. But it doesn't look like it has a lot of information. So there's that. And you get the cool little... The sticker is cool though. If I had a place to put it, I would. Because it's a nice looking sticker. So, that's the packaging, which is all nice, fine and dandy. And here's the IC cable. We'll plug it in, and then what I'm going to do is grab a mic cable, an SM57, and we'll just see if I can tell how loud it's going to be. Alright, be right back. Okay, so good news. I got the unit out, plugged it in, and I, you know, was testing the mic, you know, to make sure that it worked. I was like thumping on it, and it wasn't very loud. And I was in channel 1, so I turned it all the way up, and the controls are right here on the back and really easy to use and everything. You kind of select with this big knob, so like you kind of roll the dial over to channel 1, and then I cranked it all the way up to 10 because it was so, you know, nothing was happening. And I was like, oh man. just when I said I hate returning things and I don't want to have to go back to my store where I like everybody and, you know, be the annoying guy who comes running back the next day and got to return it and all that kind of thing, I happened to look over and see the switch that says mic and line, and it was in line input. And at line input, you know, you're coming in with unity gain, so it depends on how much, you know, how much gain that you're getting from your line signal, as opposed to you know, a mic signal where you've got the preamp in there that's, you know, giving you the gain right up front. So once I put it in mic setting, I couldn't even get it to 12 o'clock. It was like really loud. I mean, I wasn't feeling the need to get it to 12 o'clock. And I luckily have a way to show you the difference, you know, and like how much volume you're getting. Because like with the Harbinger, the column sound thing, that would be very similar to the Yamaha, to the Electro Voice, the EV series, which are really nice. I bet they sound fantastic for, you know, DJ purposes, but to push a voice, you know, over a loud band, that's what I'm, you know, trying to achieve here. So as a backup, I've used my KB3 before, because if you're like in a quiet kind of band type thing, you know, if you're like coffee shop type thing, or if you're solo, or like, you know, doing like subtle stuff, this KB3 could potentially work. You know, you get enough like kind of PA action where you could do like a singer-songwriter thing with it. Or if you were like playing a keyboard, you know, and you had one input going in keyboard and one channel, you know, another channel. And when you're, you know, you hear this thing and think, oh, that's pretty loud. But once you get drums, you know, we got a drummer. Our drummer is probably the hardest hitting drummer I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've been around a decent amount of professional drummers, and I've never seen anybody who hits this hard. So that's loud. Then we have a 100-watt Marshall amp, and a guitar player who plays, you know, louder than anyone I know. And then the bass that's got to be as loud as hell in order to keep up with the guitar and bass. So you got a lot of volume that you're trying to get over, and that will not do it. Sounds pretty good right now, but it's just buried, you know, with that band. So watch this. We're going to take this input out. I'm going to pull it from here. We'll come over to this baby. Plug it into input 1. Yeah. And now you hear the difference. So, you know, this is turned up to like 11. Let me go to noon. Now you're getting even better. You know, like check it out. All right, I'm going to push it up to like 2 o'clock, and we get you can tell the beginnings of feedback. But if I'm far enough away from the unit, like out in front of a band, this is going to, you know, I usually set it where it's pushing it like right at the edge, you know, and as long as I'm far enough back, this will work. The other piece of good news about this particular unit is that it comes with replaceable drivers. Like you can replace the drivers. It doesn't come with them, but you can purchase them separately. And they weren't expensive. One was like $38 and one was like $15. And I believe, if I was remembering what I was told, is that it's like almost the user can actually replace them, like screw-in drivers. And I don't know anything about it, but I do know that unlike the dark matter, which is basically like once you buy the unit, like I said, I've blown it up twice. You're kind of stuck with it. The first time it was under warranty, second time it was out of warranty, and I don't think it's worth, I should find out what's wrong with it, but I don't think it's worth putting money into it. I'd probably just buy another one of these, because I finally have something that you know, does the job. This thing is really cool. And what you do here, you have like this kind of screen back here, and you've got a knob that, you know, selects the screen. So like right now, I turn the knob, I go to channel 2. Turn the knob again, go to channel 3. You can go to the main knob. And so when you make these selections, then you have the knob for that channel that, you know, helps you dial in the tone you want. You've got line options, mic options, very simple, straightforward. You've got an output, and on the inputs you can use TSR, you can use like mic cables, you know, the 3-prong mic cable thing, XLR, and what's the other one? I mean, you could put like guitar cables in here, in any kind of like TSR type of cable, sleeve ring, and then XLR, obviously the mic cable. So you can put whatever you want in there, and if you're doing the DJ thing, or if you want to play music between your set, you just click on the come in through the Bluetooth. So I am quite pleased. I think this is going to work, especially for the money. You know, it's $5. That's pretty cheap. And I had a $100 gift card that I'd actually gotten from Alex, our bass player. So that really helped. You know, it's $100 off of a $500 thing, made it super affordable. So I hope that my pathetic little video here on the PVXp12 is helpful to someone. I looked around, you know, a lot for one of these things. I wanted to do the column sound thing, but it just wasn't loud enough. Maybe if you bought like 2 or 3 of them, but the EV and the Bose are pretty expensive, so that would be sort of cost prohibitive. And this unit is cool. It's like a monitor. It can sit like a monitor. It's got handles on the sides, it's got handles on the top. So I'm assuming there's all different types of orientation. Yeah, because you can see there's like feet or like nubs where it can sit this way, it can sit this way. Quite versatile. Has this simple kind of EQ system on the back. You got 3 inputs, an output, Bluetooth, this thoracic waveguide technology, removable and replaceable drivers. That to me is, you know, that makes it. You know, because for $500, I'm gonna blow it up. That's obvious. You know, that's gonna happen. And being able to just pop in new drivers, and with my local city here, you know, I live in a smallish town, medium-sized town. It's just liking it more and more as time goes on. It's so much easier. I've lived in really big cities before. Los Angeles for years, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia for 20 years. I lived there 19 years. And I do not miss major cities. And now that we have in this smaller city places to buy things like this, I'm in heaven. And really honest people that treat you right, like a, you know, family neighborhood type of thing, as opposed to like some big corporate, you know, behemoth that has like no connection. You know, you just walk in and don't know anybody or whatever. This place is like, you know, family joint. All right, so Everything Musical, I'm very big on them. They have a website, you can purchase directly from them, and they're super honest people. So if you're looking for guitars or any kind of musical gear, you can use their website to purchase it directly from them. And if you happen to be in the state of Georgia, like in Atlanta or LaGrange, Noonan, you know, any of these cities around here, it's definitely a worthy destination because they get good guitars in there. They've got PA, they've got band stuff. Like my son had his saxophone repaired through them, and they did a great job on the saxophone. So I'm all about the place, and I you know, always want to spread the word to people when you find something like that. And I'm also happy about this Peavey PVXp12. I think this is going to do the job. I don't think you need a 15 if you're just singing through it. You don't need the extra bass. It's not going to really help you because that 1.4-inch driver is where the action is as far as volume and output. But if you're doing the DJ thing and you're just looking for more volume, I would go for it because it's only $100 more, and you get a 3-inch bigger driver, you know, for a little more bass action. But if size is a priority, the 12. I'm loving the size because I was kind of dreading having another big thing. I've got a smallish car, like a coupe, you know, 4-door coupe, and I try to get as much stuff in it as I can. A 2x12 head, this thing, my Fender Deluxe, a couple guitars. All right, so this thing works. I think it's going to work, and we'll find out for sure at the upcoming house party. But I feel confident in keeping this as opposed to, you know, worrying it's not going to be loud enough next time.